Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? It's been said that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, or does it?
I was feeling so bad. I asked my family doctor just what I had.
It's time to get a new prescription for your life. Get ready for your daily dose of Healthy Talk Radio, the show that's empowering your health. And now, here's America's health and lifestyle coach.
This is the show where your health is your wealth. Thriving is more important than just surviving, and the only thing lost are those unwanted pounds. This is Healthy Talk Radio that helps you get well, stay well, and live well. Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is the medicine. This show, we want to help you live your potential. We all have potential, and no one, and I mean no one, if you ask them, have they really tapped into their infinite potential, their unlimited potential, they'll tell you no. We all have so much more inside of us. We all have so much more that we can do. We all have so much more that we can accomplish. So our potential really is about who we are, and our health is just the vehicle to get there. Some people get so fired up about health, and it's just like almost becomes a hobby. I mean, there's a stigma in the medical world. If you're a clinical practitioner, and we call certain people, which some people call them hypochondriacs, and that's like a official term, but it's beyond that. It's not even a hypochondriac. It's people that are professional patients. We call them that. Like, oh, they're a professional patient. So they come into the office, and they've got a million different things going on. So it's interesting, but I say that for a reason, is because you have potential. It's not about what's breaking down. It's about where you can go. It's not about what you've lost. It's about what you have. It's not about any of that. It's about making better choices today so you can be who you were designed to be. I mean, that is the ultimate key. And on this show, that's what it's all about. Go to our website. Go to asarx.com. And if you haven't got a free copy of my book, you need to. My goodness, it is going like hotcakes since we've been running this offer to be able to help you. It's if you go to myfreehealthbook.com, we're giving you my book for free. Absolutely free. We're giving you the book for free. Why? Because I want to help you. I really do. I want to help 7 billion people on the planet. We've got a global mission, and it starts with one person at a time. And regardless of who you are, what you're going through, everybody needs their health to live your potential, to be your best, to live and produce, to be the best for your family, the best for your business, the best for your calling, the best for your community, the best for your church. We need our health. Health is the vehicle to fulfill your purpose. Health is the vehicle. It's what we use to house this person, this spirit person that we are, our being. It's why we're called a human being. The question is, who are you being? Who are you? That's the key. We want to help you become better. Want to help you become and really tap into your potential. That's what it's all about. So talking about potential and what's holding us back, diabetes, which is one of the leading health challenges. I'm on a mission to completely eradicate diabetes. Why? Because it's our own choices that causes it. So it's misinformation, poor choices, bad habits, and all that can be reversed. All that can be transitioned. All that can be brought out. But again, health is more whole person. It's not just a symptom, and it's not just a diagnosis. It's way beyond that. So diabetes kills more Americans than ever had been thought. Think about that. Diabetes is a killer. We think about cancer and heart disease, but what about diabetes being a killer? The number of Americans who die from diabetes is much higher than previously believed, according to a new study. The research based on federal government data found that diabetes causes 12% of deaths in the United States, and that makes it the third leading cause of death. Number 3 after heart disease and cancer. Okay, that's a big deal. Another way of saying it is if diabetes were eliminated as a disease process, the number of deaths would decline by 12%, said the study lead author at the University of Pennsylvania. There's only been one similar earlier research effort that was based on the data from 1980s to the early 90s, and it showed that deaths attributable to diabetes amounted to about roughly 4% of total deaths. Now, the data for the new study came from the U.S. National Health Survey. But from this, they know researchers have found Americans with diabetes have about a 90% higher death rate than those without diabetes. They noted that diabetes is also the underlying cause of death. Had been underreported in the United States. People hadn't been reporting that. Doctors had not been identifying that. So it was hard to track it for a while. Think about that. There's only one underlying cause of death on a death certificate. But diabetes is never listed because it's like, it's usually secondary, right? So if it was cancer, but they had diabetes, or if it's heart disease, but they had diabetes, see, it was never listed. There was only the primary cause of death. So the study co-authoring this, Dr. Andrew Stokes at Boston University, said, when we monitor trends in the health of populations, we look at the mortality statistics. So what's interesting, he says, the number of Americans with diabetes rose 300% between 1980 and 2014. Okay, 300%. That's not 3%. That's 300%. And from 5.5 million in 1980 to 22 million. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This is all from their data. So the American life expectancy has been growing at a slow rate and increased slightly in recent years, but it hasn't been established statistically, but it's fairly likely that obesity and diabetes together are an important factor for all of this. But number 3 killer, can you believe that? Number 3. All these conditions. It's an epidemic. And the challenge is we're not doing enough about it to really take it on. I mean, diabetes is a massive, massive, massive health threat. So many people carry it. They don't even know it. So many people haven't been screened for it. They don't even know they have it. So we got to do something about that. This is Asa Rx you're listening to. Go to our website, asarx.com. The Asa Rx Experience, name of our podcast. You've got to subscribe to that. Brand new show every single day. Let's get on the phones in just a moment. But first, I'm going to go into Jamie from Denver, Colorado. Send us an email. Says, does kidney stones ever cause stomach issues? Well, they can affect and cause discomfort that might appear like it's a stomach ache or a stomach issue of some kind. But again, it's always going to be referred to the kidneys. It's always going to be that main area. And it can feel like it's in the stomach, depending on where it's coming from, the ureter, but where the stone is. But yeah, they can be very, very painful. And it can refer pain. We call it referred pain, where there's pain in one area, but it sends it kind of the feeling of it goes to another area. That happens too. So you can have that with the kidney stones. So that definitely can play a role. But I would focus more than anything on building up and figuring out what's causing the kidney stones. So remember, calcium oxalate is usually the stone itself. So oxalic acid is where there's a breakdown. The body doesn't break down oxalic acid. So if there's certain oxalic acid foods. You've got a whole list of that on the website. Just go to asarx.com. I've got all kinds of articles on it. But the oxalic acid is found in dark leafy greens big time. And I don't like saying that because it's like we need those, right? So you get things like kale and spinach. All of that can play a role, and you need that in your daily routine. So if you don't break down the oxalic acid, there's certain enzymes you can use to help break those down. And you can switch over when it comes to certain lettuce varieties. If you don't like that, you can switch over to things like spring mix, arugula. They tend to not affect the oxalic acid levels as much. So that's a great way to go, first and foremost. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Visit us online. Go to asarx.com. Whatever you're struggling with, remember this. If the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is the medicine that you can choose each and every day. It comes down to the choices that you make every day. We'll be right back. More Healthy Talk Radio. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Check us out on the web. Go to asarx.com. And by the way, if you haven't got a free copy of our book, I'm giving it away to you. It's free as a gift to help you go from where you are to where you need to be with your health. Go to myfreehealthbook.com and you get a free copy of my hardback book to be a blessing to you, to help you go to the next level with your health and with your life. Let's kick it to phones and go to Austin. Hi, Austin.
I'm having kidney troubles, and I'm trying to find out the best way to handle it.
All right, so like you said, we talk a lot about kidney health here. And with kidney, especially if it's like chronic kidney disease, there's a couple things. Of course, there's what's called the renal diet. And if you don't know what that is, I'm sure your physician has told you about it, your nephrologist if you're working with one, or your family doctor, internist. But the renal diet's pretty basic. You keep your protein levels fairly low because that can stress the kidneys. You drink moderate amount of fluids because you do need a certain amount, but you don't want too much. And then also, when it comes down to sodium, you pretty much need to cut the sodium all the way out. So anything that could put a toxic load or a strain or make the kidneys work a little harder is what you want to be a little cautious with. And there's a whole food list that'll give you the renal diet. Pick that up on our website. You can easily see that. But your physician will lay that out for you. But people just kind of blow that off. It's a big deal. You want to make sure you're eating the right kind of foods. Now, some people blow that off, and I get it. But as long as you're doing more anti-inflammatory based food, it's the processed foods that really strain the kidneys. When you're eating foods in the way they were originally designed, typically the body's going to work pretty well, okay? Even no matter what it is. I mean, if you're getting fruits and vegetables and you're staying away from the processed carbohydrates, processed sugars, you're staying away from all that, then you're going to do pretty well, okay? It's when you start eating a lot of the processed foods, because you can eat boxed foods and man-made foods that are low sodium, but the quality is just not great. So you really want to have the quality high and make that a priority, because otherwise you're going to get into a situation where, well, like you're in now, right? So our choices that we make over and over again, people think, well, it's just genetics. Look, genetics are like maybe 10 to 15% at the most. It's our lifestyle. Like, we do this stuff to ourselves. Our bodies age. They're going to age. It's part of life. Like, our body ages, what it is. But even when our body's aging on a regular basis, it's what we give ourselves that our body can rejuvenate from. Like, your own body's only as healthy as the food you can give it each day, right? So the food you give it is what it can take to make the raw materials for what it needs. So the choices are really up to us. That's what's so cool about it. I like that. Like, people get all offended. Like, oh, you're telling me that I messed up my own body? Well, your choices definitely didn't make it better if they were bad choices. It's about making good choices. So we have to do that. So yeah, with the kidney, you always want to make sure you're eating the right kind of foods. Eat the renal diet is the way to go. They've really built that thing out well. But just make sure that it's all real whole foods. Like, don't just go get a bunch of low sodium boxed foods that's just, junk. Don't do that. Eat real whole foods. It makes a difference. 888-283-7272 is the number. Give us a call or go to the website. You can go to asarx.com. What about high blood pressure? We don't talk enough about high blood pressure that's undiagnosed. See, that's the thing. So many people walk around with things like diabetes undiagnosed. Like blood sugar, 200 and 300, undiagnosed. And then you get diagnosed, you're like, oh my goodness. Like, I've seen it so many times in clinical practice. You're like, wow. Like, everybody does a double take on the blood test. Like, I've seen multiple providers, and we're all like, oh my goodness. So how does that even happen? How does a person even function? And people can function totally well with high blood pressure, and people can function totally well with diabetes and it not get treated. All of that is very, very real. So most of high blood pressure is often undiagnosed and untreated. So half of people tested with the mobile clinics that are out there and the screenings that they have are unaware they had a condition that's referred to as a silent killer. High blood pressure is definitely the silent killer, and it's also called hypertension. It puts extra strain on the heart and blood vessels, and it increases the risk of heart attack and stroke, researchers said. But The disorder rarely causes noticeable symptoms. The serious risk posed by the untreated high blood pressure is often misunderstood. The public needs greater awareness. They really do about this. We don't talk about it enough. I don't even talk about it enough here. And I think we need to tackle it more because the serious risk posed by untreated high blood pressure is misunderstood. It is. You got people in workplaces, hospitals, community centers, large cities, workspaces, elderly. They don't even know they have it. So a study revealed that 50% of participants are unaware they have high blood pressure, and about 2% were at a very high risk for high complications. So in the Journal of Hypertension, they did this study, and they said what's particularly significant about the study is that the surprising large number of participants exhibited some type of hypertensive urgency or emergency. That's a big deal. Most people with high blood pressure weren't being treated, even if they had been diagnosed. So many of the participants were either unaware of their condition or simply not adherent to the medications. Think about that. So with blood pressure, just remember there's some natural ways to tackle that. Rebounding is really, really great. So jumping up and down on a rebounder on a regular basis is phenomenal, can really help. And doing that on a regular basis can help stabilize high blood pressure. There's tons of studies that we know that show us that, and it can help tremendously when it comes to that. So look at ways to do it. Now, the other thing too that you can look at is L-arginine, L-citrulline. These are 2 amino acids mixed with a green tea extract. They've done studies on this and can increase what's called nitric oxide. And when you increase the NO2 over a period of time, that can help tremendously. So I would look at ways that you can do and build up on that. That's a big deal. So NO2, we have a product for Cardio Heart that does that, and that can help tremendously. We'll come back with more questions about your health. Also, see you on the phones. I'll get right to you when we come back. This content is brought to you by our good friends at Liberty Health Share, the absolute best alternative to traditional health insurance. Visit Liberty Health Share at libertyhealthshare.org.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to the Asa Rx Experience. Go to asarx.com. Check it out. We're here to help you live your potential, because we all have potential, and you're never going to tap into it. Your purpose, your gifts, your callings, your talents, your abilities, becoming the best version of you is all about the choices that we make every single day. This show is about helping you. It's an experience to help you to grow, to become better. We want to help you get to the next level with your health and with your life. Let's get on the phone with Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean for going on 5 months now. I spent about 10 years in drug addiction. I never gave any kind of second thought to my health until recently. I had a kidney stone removed, and when I spoke with my doctors and everything, I was told that I was in pretty bad health. I have high blood pressure. I have a number of issues, but I just wondered if you had an idea for, what would be a good start to a full body, like natural detox and cleansing, and trying to get my body back on the right track as far as, getting healthy again and building my body back up to where it should be.
It's a really, really good question. And it's a cool question too, man. To hear, I love when somebody's been addicted to whatever and you've been challenged with it. I know there's different ways of looking at it. They teach you certain semantics to say, to identify it. Regardless, I'm excited for you, man. I really am. I'm excited that you are in a place where you're ready to do whatever it takes, because I think it takes something special to be there mentally, and it has to come down from deep down within you to really want that. So I think it's really cool that you're in that place. You're like, man, what do I have to do to get started? Where do I need to start? What's my foundation? How do I get this thing going? See, when you're mentally there, gosh, it's the easiest way. I mean, it's the best person to work with, like from a physician's perspective or a provider perspective. It really is, because it's like wind you up and let you go, man. It's cool. So here's the deal: the detox. We have a reset that we use, and all of our providers use it, and it helps to really get the body jump started. It clears out all the basics with the inflammation at a very high level and balances everything out. And that's a good place to start. If you need help, just get in touch with our office. We can help you. But that's your game plan, okay? Because you've got to cut the inflammation out. And there's certain foods that will help with that. And this is a very, very deep level. And there's certain ones that won't. There's certain ones that can actually make it worse. And some health foods can actually make it worse, or deemed health foods. So you really need a strategy based on what your body needs. And then body chemistry is really important. The whole blind nutrition day is over. Like, that day is so over. You have to be specialized in what you do, meaning that there has to be blood tests, specialized nutritional testing done to figure out what your nutritional deficiencies are, what your body needs, what it doesn't need. There's certain things your body doesn't need. And so we have to figure out what that is and come up with a good game plan around it. So that's first and foremost, got to be done. I would encourage you, if you're on this journey, because your physicians are taking care of you. I get that. And you've got probably several of them in different areas that are walking with you, but somebody has to do your personalized nutrition. And it needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be provider guided. Like, there needs to be a doctor involved that's what they do, because you want someone that's highly educated, that's very, very versed in it, and that's what they do. It's a big key. Personalized nutrition is where it's at. But that's your game plan. And then don't forget exercise. And I will tell you that personal development is very important. People leave this out. So my challenge to you is, are you reading? Okay? Are you becoming better? Are you reading something every single day? 15 minutes is the minimum for reading. 30 minutes would be even better. But are you doing something to create personal development for yourself every day, no matter what? Because if you're not, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're living or you're dying. You're growing or you're decaying. So your personal development is going to be important, all right? That's as important as eating broccoli. So if you're not working on yourself, then you're just not working. That's just the bottom line. So I would start there, man. Okay, you really got to start. If you need a copy of my book, we'll give it to you for free. Just go to my website, go to asarx.com. You'll see the offer there, and get your free book. Get it sent to you. You just cover the shipping, and we'll get that thing sent right over to you. Okay. But we want to see you do well. I want to see you do well. I want to see you thrive, man. I want to see you really, really do well. Let me know how it's going. I want you to keep me posted, okay? 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Give us a call. Go to the website. Go to asarx.com. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, the Asa Rx Experience, hey, we put up content every day, 7 days a week. So whether it's an interview with a celebrity or a sports figure or a physician or some health leader, or even I'm doing a lot of pastors now for their contribution to the mental aspect of our health. It's vital, and it's stirring up some great conversations. All that is going to be on the podcast, so make sure to check that out. 10 surprising reasons you might be waking up in the middle of the night to pee. Have you ever thought about that? Like, why do you get up to pee? A lot of people say, well, I'm just getting older, or I'm a guy and my prostate's swelling. Well, it could be a little bit more than that. So let's look at all the reasons why you're getting up to pee, because women don't have a prostate, but they're getting up to pee. So what's up with that? All right, number one, the 10 common reasons of what we call nocturia, which is our fancy medical name for it. Number one, sleep apnea. 50% of people with sleep apnea experience frequent nighttime urination. It's because we can't make vigorous efforts to breathe against closed airway, so the heart muscle gets stretched, and it pulls out a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide, which increases urine production. Number two is congestive heart failure. During the day, fluid accumulates in the legs due to gravity and the heart's inability to pump it normally. So when we lie down at night, the fluid, without influence of gravity, re-enters the bloodstream and causes an increase in urine production. So if you're peeing a lot at night, could be congestive heart failure. Another one is diabetes. Elevated levels of glucose in the kidneys at night draw more fluid into the urine. This can result in increased urine formation and creating a disturbing nighttime urination. Increased age. So increased age has been associated with decreased bladder capacity, as well as a tendency of bladder muscles become overactive. Alcohol and caffeine are other ones. So late night ingestion of either of these can cause nocturia that ruins your sleep. So cut down on the caffeine after about 8 o'clock. They both induce diuresis, which results in frequent awakening. You're listening to Asa Rx, by the way. Go to asarx.com. Check it out. Alcohol and caffeine, late night ingestion of either of these can cause nocturia that ruins our sleep. Medications, that's a big one. And that's something that you can't help if your doctor's got you on several medications, but you can help your lifestyle choices that you make every single day, and that can decrease medications tremendously. Neurologic disorders, this is one we don't really talk about. Coming in at number 7. So the neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's and autoimmune like multiple sclerosis are both accompanied by the dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system. This is the part of the nervous system we don't have any control over. And it results in severe bladder dysfunction and frequent nighttime urination. Chronic or recurrent urinary tract infections. So nocturia can result from chronic and recurrent infection. Associated symptoms could include burning, fever, abdominal or flank pain, and excessive fluid intake. Some folks will consume more than about 30% of their fluids after dinner. Not good. Okay? Get all your fluid in during the day. Start winding it down at night, especially if you're over age 65. Like you need to get your liquid in. Like, don't get me wrong. You need to be getting half your body weight in of ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces a day. But do your best to get it in before 6 or 7 p.m. at night. Set aside certain times of the day to down some liquid, okay? Don't let yourself get dehydrated, especially with your kidneys. The older we get, got to take care of those kidneys. And dehydration is just a real challenge for the kidneys. So be a little cautious with that. Chronic and recurrent urinary tract infections, yeah, that's a big one. Obesity is the big one too. So we're not sure why, but obesity, especially abdominal obesity, has been associated with an increased incidence of nighttime urination. And that's so many people, especially men, guys. Come on. Got to get the waistline down. As you remember, your waistline is your lifeline. No joking around on a big waist, bro. Like, you got a waist, you can't see your abs. So I work out all the time. And there was so many athletes and athletic coaches, strength coaches, which I'm a strength conditioning coach as well, was for Florida State. But the joke is, if you don't have abs, you're not even close to being an athlete. And I used to laugh at that because I see so many overweight guys that are phenomenal athletes. But the older I've gotten and become, and the more I see in the fitness world, and really the more I see in just a clinical aspect, you start to see it. Because the waistlines, as they increase, the health goes down. I mean, it's a direct correlation. So get your stomach down, whatever it takes. Get your waistline down, get it healthy, and really you'll see health accumulate all the way around the body. That's one of the biggest keys that you can focus on. So nighttime urination, yeah, those are the main ones that can trigger it. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, make sure to do that. Go to the Asa Rx Experience. You can find it Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, all of those you can reach out to and make a huge impact in your health and in your life. We want to be with you each and every day. In my opinion, Theralac is the best probiotic on the market today. Probiotics in a healthy gut are essential to feeling great. For the best in probiotics, visit Theralac.com. That's Theralac.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. We're here for you each and every day to take you from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. Lifestyle is the medicine. Let's get on the phones and go with Henry. Hi, Henry.
I'm a 50-year-old male, and I have sarcoidosis, and I wanted to know if there was anything that would help relieve some of the symptoms of that.
It's a challenge, no doubt, with sarcoidosis. The key with that is putting a dimmer switch on it, right? So when you get diagnosed with something like that, you really want to do everything you can to put a dimmer switch on the body. Slow it down, slow the symptoms down, slow the progression down. And it comes down to a couple things. First, you want to step back and say, okay, how can I reduce and cut back inflammation in the body? That's number one. All right. So that comes with your eating, comes with mental and emotional stress, comes with increased exercise. Your basic lifestyle habits is what has to happen first. So that's your key. Now, second thing you've got to look at, okay, once you get that intact, is what deficiencies do you have? Because sarcoidosis, even when you look at that, regardless of any genetic involvement, you have to say, okay, what was my body not getting over time? Most conditions, and this includes this, most conditions develop over about a decade. So cancer tumor, blocked artery, diabetes, all these things, they don't happen overnight. Like these happen over years of either poor habits or some type of issue that has really caused it to go that way. So that is first and foremost where you need to look, okay? It's your habits. So even though you may have had not so great habits in the beginning or over the last 10 years, you can create new habits. And that's the hope that we have. And that's why I love what I do, because no matter what you're dealing with, no matter where you've been, you can always have a brand new start. Right? To live your potential, which is what this is all about, becoming the best version of you, which is what this is all about, you can always have a brand new start. It's about the whole person. It's not just about eating broccoli. So this whole deal is about becoming the best version of you. And sarcoidosis is just a bump in the road. It's a speed bump. It is a, hey, this is your body doing this, and let's going one direction. Let's take it this direction. So health, we get to a place where we think health is so, it's just so cut and dry. It's like your kidney's not working. Okay, well, guess what? God gave us two kidneys. It's pretty amazing that one kidney can function for the whole body. So sometimes they remove a kidney. Okay, sometimes you need a transplant. Now we've got great technology where you can have a transplant. Keep on trucking. Like whatever you get, whatever gets thrown your way, figure out what it is, come up with a game plan and move forward. So when you get a diagnosis, the question is, like you're asking me, is there anything you can do? You're only 50 and you get this diagnosis, you're thinking, man, I'm young. So it's coming up with a good game plan. And I would look at getting rid of the inflammation. That's a big, big key. Omega-3 fatty acids are really important. So your omega-3s specifically, getting them at a high level with sarcoidosis is really important. Your B vitamins, specifically more of pyridoxal 5-phosphate or pyridoxine, can be helpful in that situation. Also, one thing with this that you got to look at is L-taurine, which is an amino acid, is extremely helpful in a situation like this. Now, is it a cure? No, we can't use this kind of words. But is it beneficial? Does it support? Does it help? Does it help to rebuild? Does it help to slow things down? Yeah, it's been shown to do that. So L-taurine, simple amino acid. You can pick it up at most health food stores. If you need help, go to our providers. They can help you find it. We got a great team of lifestyle providers. But yeah, I mean, that's something that is very beneficial and that can help get you on your way and put you in the right place for success. And as you go through this journey, please keep me posted. I'd love to hear about it and be a part of it with you. Okay. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to the Asa Rx Experience. Go to asarx.com. Let's jump on over to Alexander. Hi, Alexander.
Just curious about the usage of marijuana, not necessarily always smoked. Just thoughts and concerns on that.
Okay, yeah. So marijuana is becoming popular. More states are coming on board. Cannabis is a big deal. CBD oil, we're seeing that more and more. And it's been controversial for so long. Number one, it's a plant, right? And a lot of the drugs that we have are they're artificial. What people don't know is, though, that most of what we call mechanism of action, all right, how a drug works, is actually taken from plants. So they do is they study how a plant works or an herb works, and they remanufacture it into more of a drug form, whether it's more concentrated or whatever, and it works in similar what we call mechanism of action. So with something like this, with marijuana, it depends on what you're using it for, but I think that there are benefits. We know science has proven it now, and it's not just some free card to get pot. There really is. I mean, CBD oil is one of the best anti-inflammatories that we have, and it comes straight from a plant or it comes from hemp, whatever. But it's amazing at what it's doing to the body and the results that people are getting, everything from arthritis, pain relief going away, to depression, to strokes, to seizures, I mean, it's unbelievable what we're seeing with that. We're seeing a revolution with it, and I think it's just getting started. You can't stop it. So I think the FDA has been in there trying to do it, but it's the science is there. So I think it's about controlling it and about making it where it works the best for the patient. I agree with that. And I don't think a free-for-all is good. I don't think just go get whatever and get your brownies and get your candies and your suckers and all that. I don't think that's just my opinion. I know it's out there and I get it. But really having it dialed in where a physician's guiding it is the best way to go. So I think it's good. I think it's got its place. I do. I mean, if we can have something so strong as certain drugs, I won't name any names, and we say, hey, that's okay, then, the benefits, are things with marijuana that I don't like? Yeah, I don't. But does it have some benefits? Yeah, it does. So I think in the right kind of manner, it's good. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Mr. Fig, Derek Allen, and John Garrison, our chief engineer. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. This is Asa Rx.
This show is designed to provide accurate information of a general nature on the subject matter covered, and given with the understanding that neither the host nor the station is engaged with rendering any form of medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This information is not approved by the FDA and is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease.
To experience more of Asa Rx audio, visit us at asarx.com.